They say Japan was made by a sword. They say the old gods tipped a coral blade into the ocean, and when they pulled it out, 4 perfect drops fell back into the sea, and those drops became the islands of Japan. I say Japan was made by a handful of brave men. Warriors willing to give their lives for what seems to have become a forgotten word: honor.
Hi, my name is Janelle, and one of my favorite memories of my grandparents, my Grandpa Tom and Grandma Heidi, were going to Kennedy Meadows, learning how to fish, watching Grandpa wade in the water in his, rubber boots.
This is Kayla. My greatest, fondest memory was when we all went to Kennedy Meadows and we used to go fishing together. And we used to wake up really, really early in the morning and go stand out in the freezing cold, and then go back to your RV and cook up a big family dinner at night.
Hey, Grandma, Grandpa, it's Daniel. And I just want to recount one of the first memories that I had with you guys. It's when you guys used to come out to Colorado in your RV. And my dad and I and Grandpa would all go fishing. And I remember Grandpa helping me fish.
Hi, Grandma and Grandpa. This is Taylor. One of my fondest memories, I guess, is I just really loved picking fruit in your garden and washing it and eating it with you guys. So my name is Blake Kitayama in Colorado, and I want to say this memory that I have of them. It was in their backyard, and there was this big campfire thing, and we were roasting marshmallows, and we were telling jokes, and we were just having a good time.
Okay, my name is Robert Kitayama, and one thing I do want to say to my Aunt Grace is, when you see your grandpa now, he might seem very quiet. But if you were to have seen him 10, 20, 30 years ago, you would not believe how inquisitive and how much your grandfather could talk. And I wished he could talk to you because he would ask you a million questions.
Okay, my name's Maya, and one memory I have working with Grandma and Grandpa when we're hanging out is in the garden, like staring at all the beautiful flowers and picking raspberries and beans and tomatoes.
Hello, this is Gracie. And I like working with being with my grandpa, and sometimes my grandma let me pick flowers, and then sometimes I bake things with my grandma, and it's really fun being with them.
Hi family, it's Lauren, and recently Grandma and Grandpa came to my 8th grade graduation, and it was really special to have them there. Hi Grandpa and Grandma, this is Eileen. I have memories of going to your house and always eating Chinese food and playing with the Russian doll set, and it was always there to even though you take something apart, it goes back together. And you always came down for 4th of July, and that was, the whole family was here. So I really enjoy when we're all together, and I love you.
Hi, Grandma. This is Kyle. Goodbye.
Wait.
Hi, Kyle. Hi, Grandma. This is Kyle. I love you, Kyle.
Can you get stuff out of that?
Hey, Grandma, this is Brett. I just wanted to thank you for all the things you've done for me, providing for my college funding and taking me out to lunch.
I'm Josh Kapkar, and my fondest memory of my grandparents is when I was little, and we would go camping, and Grandma would always cook for us, and Grandpa would always go fishing with me, and it was pretty fun.
This is Rebecca Cathcart, and I always will remember every time when I was little, I used to come over and rollerblade, and when you guys used to watch me. Hi, Grandma and Grandpa, this is Rachel. My fondest memory of you guys is when we would go there for New Year's, and Grandma taught us how to make sushi, and then we make mochi.
I'm Jan, Nakata, and my dad is your Uncle Ken, or Kenny. And I remember him growing up. He would come home from work every day, and he always had an extra cookie or some extra chips. Now, to this day, I don't know if Mom gave him extra for his lunch or what. He always had something left in his lunchbox that he would leave for us. So we would run downstairs, give him a kiss, and go to his lunch pail box. So all of us would get to split whatever that was. That was really fun.
Hey, Katrina, come here.
Hi, Grandma. Hi, Grandma.
Hi, this is Lisa. So I just like to say thank you to the older generation, to my parents, to uncles and aunties for being such a good example and for giving us such a strong and supportive family.
Hi, Grandma and Grandpa. This is William, and some of my fondest memories involve the old place in Union City, the greenhouses and the office. I remember walking up those rickety old wooden stairs. It's kind of scary, and but always being greeted with a smile up top with Grandpa's office and that white glass candy dish that I so look forward to. Also, I remember a specific day where I cleaned Grandma's, I wouldn't say cleaned, I think I stacked papers in her office, and the head office manager, Hiroko, and my mother, they looked at me and I thought it was my last day on earth. But thank you for everything that all of you have taught us, and we all love you very much.